Hello and welcome to the Meaningful Work Profile tool. This video is to help you to get to know your dashboard. But before we go to your dashboard, I wanted to take a step back to show you where to sign in. Now, by now, hopefully you've received an email which has provided you with your unique login details. If you haven't received that email, I recommend you check both your junk or spam folders or reach out to a member of the Beaumont People team so we can look into that for you. Once you do receive that email, you will complete the setup of your account and have access to your dashboard. However, if you've signed out and are looking how to sign back in, I wanted to start here. I recommend you visit the meaningfulwork.com.au website, which is what we're looking at right now, and bookmark this website for ease in the future. On the top right hand side, you will see a button which says sign in. Simply click here. Once you click on the button, you will be presented with the sign in portal to access your account. Enter the email address that you have been provided with and the unique password, either that you've been provided with or the one that you perhaps have updated once you've created your account. If you cannot remember your password, just follow the prompts by selecting Forgot Password or simply sign in. Once you sign in, you will access the dashboard for your organization. And by default, you will land on My Company Surveys. I will, in the next videos, go into more detail around the different sections of your dashboard. But for the purpose of this video, it's just to give you a very high level tour of your dashboard. Now that we've signed in, I want to show you where you can access your account details and sign out. Like with many platforms such as these, you can find your account information on the top right-hand side. So if you navigate here with me, you can see the Sarah Farina Gmail. By clicking on this, I am presented with a few options. Yours may look slightly different depending on whether you've already taken part in a survey of your own regard, so not as part as your organization. If you had already created an account with the Meaningful Work Profile tool, not part of your organization, you will have access to that information if the email address is the same. So that is the first option, the Meaningful Work Profile portal, and I'll go to that shortly. The next is My Company, My Profile, and Log Out. Let's now go through each one really quickly to show what you can find. So by clicking on the Meaningful Work Profile portal, I am taken back to the personal details that I provided when I first created my own Meaningful Work account. You can review this information and update it at any point. Simply click Save at the end. You will also find the tab My Profiles. This is where you can access any of the Meaningful Work surveys that you take part in, whether they are ones that you did prior to your organization joining the Meaningful Work Profile tool, or part of, as an employee, part of the organization, using the tool. You can find all your profiles. You'll be able to see whether they've been completed or not. And so you can continue ones that aren't. In this case, this one is complete. You can simply view the results here as well. And this is where you can also, drill down further into your results, which we will spend some time going through in a later video. Going back, you'll also be able to take the Meaningful Work Profile again. We have no limitations on how many times you can take part in the profile and the survey, because we recognize that it is something that is changing constantly dependent on your personal circumstances or your work circumstances. So you can access the Meaningful Work Profile and take a new survey, a new gauge of where you're at when it comes to what's meaningful for you or how your organization is providing you with meaning. As we did at the dashboard, on the top right-hand corner again, you will find your little navigation to help you go back to your client portal. Now this again, when I say client portal, this is the organization that you are part of and you have been created as either an administrator or a survey manager. I've clicked back on that and you can see I've easily returned back to the first dashboard, my company surveys. Just going back over, I just want to also cover off my company, which is where you can edit the name of your company, you can add a logo, and also update or change any of the fields that have been pre-populated for you during your organization setup. You can also access that information by moving to the top left-hand corner where you will find either the name of your organization or the initials. Again, by clicking on that, where I've clicked on Beaumont People, I'm taken to the same information where you can update that profile detail. I'm just going to go back to the account information dropdown, click on My Profile. This is the information that you've been set up with, and you were automatically given a password and you would have received an email with those login details. You can see that here is where you can actually update your password if you would prefer to change it, and simply save. And lastly, log out. So if you want to log out of your account, simply select log out and you will return back to the very first screen that we started. If you need to log back in, simply go back to the sign in button where you will be brought to the portal once again and sign in. Before I end the video, I just want to bring your attention to the left-hand side navigation, which the following videos will go into a bit more detail. You have company surveys, which is what you're looking at by default, administrators, and then various settings around user groups and locations. Watch the next videos as we go through each of those sections in more detail, starting backwards actually from settings through to administrator and then company surveys, of which will then end by showing you how to create your very first survey using the Meaningful Work Profile tool.